beginnen im Dunkeln. Also wir fangen mit UV-Licht an. Wir haben also erst diese Intro-Situation mit Film und dann laufen wir von dieser dunklen Atmosphäre eigentlich hier in den ersten Teil der Stadt. Hier ist die Graffiti Gallery. Man sieht, es ist wirklich sehr dicht. Man sieht hier wirklich ganz viel Graffiti. Die Herkunft der Street Art, der Urban Art.
To do this show, we had to honor the kind of the roots of this movement and this moment when this long history of people always wanting to write their name on the wall, or those voices that aren't always heard get to say what they want to say. And in the 70s in New York, style got attached to it. For us, it's really important not to come in like, oh, this is the best and this is the only culture, but to know that this is a global culture, the artists all over the world, and that every city has a great legacy of these artists who've been working with it.
Wir haben hier audiovisuelle Elemente eingebaut, also wir wollen hier alle Sinne mitnehmen. Wir haben hier Straßen, Plätze, Häuser, wir haben Straßenlampen, Gullideckel, Stromkästen, die wir zu Kinderspuren umgewandelt haben. Also wir wollen hier wirklich alle ansprechen. Es gibt hier keine Schwellen.
The artists have kind of incorporated this sense of that we now engage with our surroundings very much through this little phone that we all carry. And INSA, it works with GIFs. It's like graffiti, if you can take the bad pun. But and if you look at the app, you'll see this thing becomes animated. So this becomes the trigger for it.
Und jetzt sieht man sozusagen in dem Bild eine weitere Ebene. Man sieht sozusagen, wie das Kunstwerk entstanden ist. Also diese Stadtintervention jetzt als versteckte kleine Botschaft.
There's so many different types of street art, and it's not just the. Wow, that's a great sound. It's not just the sounds of the city. Like, it's not just graffiti, and it's not just the kind of the big muralism. There's all these different things, and one of the things which is really fun to engage in this show was people who work with anamorphic distortion, which is old. It goes back to the Renaissance. You see them in the city, and they're doing often with chalk on the street, and it's an optical trick. Here we have many different types of the city. Ernest Zakharevich, he really brings the sense of that the city comes to life when there's a sound of laughter and children playing, and really the revitalization of the city with every generation, and so his work's very playful, and nothing could be more playful than Oleg's work. I mean, which can be very political and stuff, but she works with crochet, and it was amazing to, she had like all the old ladies with her, and actually made really a kind of a showstopper piece in this carousel. Then I mentioned earlier this idea of that we do have Big Brother. We're no longer alone in the city. There's this constant surveillance, and it's kind of how we now piece together reality after something bad happens. You all see it through these cameras. Tristan Eaton, he's one of the kind of the big muralists of the moment, like really like loved around the world.
I went to New York City in 1972. I was 20 years old at that time, and discovered the first graffiti in New York. 10 years after, I started to make graffiti in Paris, but I didn't want to make same thing that I saw in New York, because Paris is a different city than New York. The architecture is different, the social is completely different also. So I decided to use the technique of stencil.
Ich versuche immer meine Bilder anpassen an den bestimmten Platz. Von hier wollte ich eine kleine Botschaft malen, sozusagen, dass anlässlich die ganz schlechten Nachrichten jetzt in den Medien, dass man wenigstens für ein paar Minuten sich hinsetzt und in eigener Aura entspannt.
You kind of just reinvented throwing up sneakers, but there's a meaning behind it, right? Yeah, it's where you bought your drugs, basically. You know, it's where you lost your virginity, where your friends beat you up and threw your sneakers up, and we kind of just did it to kind of reinvent the purpose and kind of represent us being wherever we travel to.
Also München, muss man dazu sagen, war eigentlich neben anderen europäischen Großstädten wie Amsterdam, Paris, London eine der ersten Städte, die mit der Graffiti-Kultur hier angefangen haben. Mein Beitrag für die Ausstellung ist meine Vorstellung von einer magischen Stadt, Magic City, als eine blaue Stadt, die lebt, tanzt, Musik macht, in der es Polizei gibt und so weiter.